Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new match review here on the channel. My name is James, and today we're going to go ahead and sit down and talk to you guys about Reading's 4-1 away defeat to Stockport County. That's right, the Royals were back in action, this time at Edgeley Park, and Reading were absolutely ran out by Stockport in this game. I've got to say, this was an awful performance by Reading, and for me, was the worst performance of the season. This beats out the Bolton performance, as I thought Reading put a bit of fight in that game, whereas in this one, I don't think there was that at all. Overall, on the pitch, I've got to say, individual performances today from Reading were absolutely shocking, and I don't think anyone on that pitch had a good game. I think the only person that can really hold their head up high a little bit was Michael Craig in this fixture. I thought he did not a bad job against Louis Barry, but overall, I thought Reading was shocking on the day. This doesn't take anything away from Stockport County either, because I'm not saying that at all. I thought they were more than deserved of the 3 points, and the 4-1 scoreline was absolutely deserved as well. I've got to say, Reading were just god-awful on this day. And like I said, Stockport were the miles better team. In terms of the starting 11 for this fixture, Reading made a couple of changes from their win over Bristol Rovers on Saturday. Joel Pereira continued to be the goalkeeper, and the back four remained the same, with Michael Craig, Amadou Mbenge, Tyler Bindon and Andre Garcia playing across the back four. There was one change in the midfield, as we saw Lewis Wing, Harvey Nibbs and Charlie Savage, who returned to the starting 11. Adrian Akande, Chem Campbell and Jaden Wareham were the three players that were supposedly up front. Overall, though, I thought Reading was shocking. There was no bite in the attack at all. We were toothless in the midfield, and the centre-back pairing today was awful. I normally talk about how Tyler Bindon and Amadou Mbenge are two of the better centre-backs in the league, in my opinion, and have formed a formidable partnership over the last 7-8 months. Today, though, it was shocking. I've got to say, overall, Reading were awful today. I thought Amadou Mbenge was very poor. Didn't think Tyler Bindon had his best game. I thought Charlie Savage in the midfield was awful. Now, I spoke to Adam a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know if I mentioned this in a video, but long-term viewers of the channel will know who Adam is. And I spoke to him about how when I watched Charlie Savage play football, I just felt like he makes absolutely everything look really, really difficult. I feel like Charlie Savage makes everything look really hard as a professional football player. I feel like when you watch him compared to other players, he has no technical ability in comparison to some of the other players that Reading have in the middle of the park. Yes, Charlie Savage does score goals, and yes, he does pick assists up. But when you watch his overall performance, he runs around a lot, but when the ball is at his feet, he's not a good football player. Look, don't get me wrong, this game today was awful from Reading, and the performance overall was shocking. But this doesn't take away from the good start Reading have had to this season. But when talking about this match in particular, Reading were awful. Now, in terms of some other performances, I've got to say, I thought Akande was bad. I thought Wareham was bad. And I also thought that Chem Campbell was pretty shocking too. Overall, Reading were bad, and if we're going to talk about starting 11s, maybe Joel Pereira and Michael Craig can hold their head up high, but everyone else should be ashamed of that performance they put on the pitch. Now, in terms of the performance itself and the actual match, Reading did start off by going 1-0 down. It did happen in the 18th minute when Collar was able to score for Stockport. He put them 1-0 up thanks to a really, really good run in the centre of the park from Onyango. On loan Everton centre-back did really good work, running through Reading's midfield and cutting for us like there was no players even there. Eventually, he was able to find Collar, who ended up striking the ball. It hit Tyler Bindon, took a deflection and went past Joel Pereira. Reading weren't behind for long though. It was just over 10 minutes later, Chem Campbell found the ball in the back of the net. It was a really good move from Reading, some quick slick passing, saw them play it across the right hand side, and Harvey Nibbs ended up putting a cross into the box. The ball found its way to Chem Campbell, and he had the easy chance of tapping it into what was essentially an empty net. It didn't take long, though, for Stockport to go back in front. Just 3 minutes later, Carl Wooten was able to confirm his goal for today and converted following a free kick where he headed it in. Stockport then eventually made it 3 goals in the first half when Louis Barry converted from the penalty spot. I've got to say, personally, I don't think this was a penalty, as going down the right-hand side, Jack Diamond was fouled by Andre Garcia. I thought the two players went shoulder to shoulder, and I thought Garcia was a little bit unlucky to find himself giving away a penalty. Either way, it doesn't matter though. The referee's opinion is the only person that matters at the end of the day. And Louis Barry stepped up and scored his 8th goal of the season. Louis Barry eventually made it 9 in the 68th minute, as they were able to just walk through Reading's defence once again. Real schoolboy stuff from Reading in that second half for that 4th goal. Really easy to get through. It was really under 11s defending, if we're being honest, and I thought it was just shocking overall from Reading. Like we said, when we talk about individual performances, something that stood out for me was when Charlie Savage had a foul throw in the second half. It's basic stuff, do you know what I mean? When I talk about him making everything look difficult, that's one of the things I mean. I thought Ehibachiman, when he came off the bench as well, was awful. I thought recently Ehibachiman's performances haven't been that great, and again, the trend continued here. Listen, again, not taking anything away from Stockport. I thought they did decent. Look, they limited Reading to 2 shots in the entire game. That's all you need to know about this game. Reading have got a real problem on their hands. Away from home, they are absolutely shocking. And something needs to change. It's a change of tactic that needs to happen. So when we're in RG2, Reading look great. But away from home, one of the easiest teams in the league to play. Whether that's bringing in a defensive midfielder, maybe moving Michael Craig back into that DM position, and maybe going to a 3 at the back, playing some wing backs. I'm not sure what the solution is for Ruben Celes, but I think moving Craig back into the midfield is the correct option for now. In terms of the league table, what does this do for the League One table? Reading have dropped down to 9th following the fixture. 7 wins, 1 draw and 5 losses following this game. 22 points on the board for Stockport. They've climbed up to 10th. 21 points on the board with 5 wins, 6 draws and just 2 losses for this season. That's going to be it for this one today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. My name's been James, and we'll see you all again very soon. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.